Are you ready to stop chasing what doesn't work and finally try what does? Most people think hours of cardio will melt belly fat, but here's the truth, it won't. That stubborn fat won't leave just because you run longer. The real solution is smarter, not harder. It's about calorie deficit, walking for weight loss, and ab workout that shapes your core. Small, consistent actions beat endless sweat sessions every time. It's curious how the belly seems to have a life of its own. A person loses weight in the face, slims down the arms, sees the legs getting thinner. Yet, when they look in the mirror, there's the same stubborn abdomen, almost mocking. That's the reality for many people. The body changes, but the midsection insists on holding on to that reserve, and that's where frustration begins. Imagine John, an ordinary guy who decided to follow a belly fat loss plan. He cut out sodas, reduced calories, and even noticed his clothes getting looser. But when he lifted his shirt, the same pouch in his abdomen was still there. He wondered, maybe none of this works for me. That doubt is what robs most people of their motivation. What's most interesting is that it's not about a lack of effort. Many people run miles, spend hours doing AB workouts, sweat more than ever. It's like that guest who doesn't take the hint and keeps sitting on the couch even after everyone else has left. This scenario is real, and it happens to thousands of people who try to stay in a calorie deficit and walk religiously for weight loss. The big question is, why is the belly always the last to abandon ship? Could there be a hidden reason behind this persistence? When it comes to body fat, there's an uncomfortable truth. The same rules don't apply to everyone. Genetics decide where the body will store extra energy, almost like a personal safe. For some, it's in the hips, for others, in the arms. But for most people, the abdomen is the preferred spot. And when the body chooses that area, the battle for belly fat loss becomes even more challenging. Think of two friends, Sarah and Emily. Both go into a calorie deficit, walk every day, and throw in an ab workout here and there. After a few months, Sarah notices her waistline shrinking, while Emily still struggles with that stubborn fat around her belly. It's not a lack of effort, it's pure genetics dictating the order in which fat comes off. This predisposition is like playing a game where each person gets a different set of cards. You can be disciplined, you can commit to walking for weight loss and adjust your diet, but the pace of results will vary from person to person. It's not laziness, it's not a mistake, it's biology. Now, if genetics decide the area where fat clings the most, the big question many people ask silently is this: can we really beat this genetic script, or are we doomed to carry that inheritance forever? If there's one type of fat that truly deserves the nickname stubborn, it's belly fat. Scientists explain that the cells in this region work almost like gum stuck to a shoe. You pull, scrub, try to get it off, but it insists on staying. That's stubborn fat in practice. Being in a calorie deficit isn't enough. The abdomen seems to get the message last. Blood circulation makes things even trickier. Areas like the arms and legs receive more blood flow, which makes fat breakdown easier. But the abdomen, the signal arrives weaker, like a phone with poor reception. That's why so many people do ab workouts, hoping for a miracle, only to find that fat doesn't just vanish because the muscles are working. Take Michael, for example. He walked every day for weight loss, logged his meals and apps, and stayed disciplined. He lost nearly 15 pounds, yet his belly remained almost untouched. This shows how abdominal fat acts as the body's last line of defense, a kind of biological survival insurance. And then comes the inevitable doubt. If even consistent effort and an organized diet don't seem to be enough, is there really a way to convince the body to finally let go of this stubborn reserve? How many times have people heard, if you do 200 AB workouts a day, you'll burn belly fat? This belief is as popular as it is misleading. Science has already proven there's no such thing as spot reduction. The body doesn't choose where to lose fat first, it follows a systemic process. That's why so many people exhaust themselves with crunches, only to see their belly remain the same. It's like trying to drain a lake by scooping water from just one corner with a bucket. The level only drops when the whole body of water goes down. The same goes for belly fat loss. The body decides where the energy comes from, not the exercises. That explains the frustration of those who spend months doing ab workouts without noticing any change in their waistline. Take Jennifer, for instance. She trained hard, spent hours in the gym trying to reduce stubborn fat just around her belly. But at the same time, her diet was still packed with extra calories. The result? She built strong muscles, but the layer of fat kept covering them. It was only when she went into a calorie deficit and started walking for weight loss that she saw real results. This shifts the perspective. Instead of looking for shortcuts, we need to accept that fat responds to bigger factors, not isolated exercises. But if crunches aren't the key to burning fat, then what are they really for? Many people feel disappointed when they realize ab workouts don't directly burn fat. But here's the detail. They set the stage. AB exercises build strong muscles that shape the midsection once fat levels drop. Even at moderate body fat percentages, around 15 to 18%, those muscles begin to show. It's like building the framework of a house before removing the tarp that covers it. A trained core also brings practical benefits. Think of someone who walks daily for weight loss. Firmer steps, better posture, fewer lower back pains. That's the core supporting the entire body. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about quality of life. Take Daniel, for example. He stayed in a calorie deficit, walked 5 miles several times a week, and added simple AB exercises. When he lost a few pounds, he noticed his belly looked more defined than before. It wasn't magic, it was preparation. The muscles were already there, just waiting for the fat to drop so they could finally show. But here's the intriguing question. If strengthening the abs is part of the process, why do so many people still see this area hold on to stubborn fat even with regular training? Few people realize it, but hormones act like conductors orchestrating the entire body. When stress is high, cortisol levels rise, and guess where the body prefers to store energy? Right in the abdomen. It's as if the body were saying, "I'll keep it here for emergencies." That's one of the reasons stubborn fat tends to stick around. Poor sleep also plays a role. Studies show that sleepless nights increase resistance to fat loss and make belly fat loss harder, even in a calorie deficit. Imagine someone who's exhausted, constantly irritable, and still trying to walk for weight loss. The body simply doesn't respond as expected because the hormonal signals are out of balance. Take Karen, for example. She worked late, slept very little, and dealt with stress by overeating. Even though she did AB workouts a few times a week, her belly didn't change. But when she started prioritizing 7 to 8 hours of sleep and added simple relaxation practices, like walking 2 miles while listening to calming music, she noticed real differences. This brings up a powerful reflection. If hormones can block progress, could there also be an internal ally capable of accelerating the fight against abdominal fat? If there's one nutrient that works like a bodyguard during belly fat loss, it's protein. It protects muscle mass while you're in a calorie deficit and provides that feeling of satiety that stops sudden hunger attacks. In other words, less binging, more control. Studies show that people who consume protein consistently feel less urge to snack between meals. Picture a breakfast with scrambled eggs and Greek yogurt instead of a sugary pastry. The difference isn't just in flavor, it's steadier energy, fewer spikes and crashes. That makes it harder for stubborn fat to build up again. Practical examples make it clear. John, the same guy who walked daily for weight loss, added whey protein after workouts, swapped processed snacks for protein bars, and started preparing grilled chicken in pre-portioned servings for the week. The result? Greater adherence to his plan, fewer slip-ups, and more consistency in maintaining a deficit. But here's the curiosity. If protein helps so much with muscle maintenance and hunger control, how can it fit into a simple method that truly accelerates progress without turning into a sacrifice? The first step is to create a calorie deficit. That means consuming less than you burn, but without falling into unsustainable extremes. Today, apps make the process simple. Snap a photo of your meal, scan a barcode, or check a food database. Suddenly, calorie counting is no longer pen and paper. It's a practical tool right in your pocket. This deficit opens the door to belly fat loss, but on its own, it can feel slow. That's where the second step comes in, moving in a sustainable way. Intense cardio works, yes, but it quickly becomes draining and can even interfere with muscle recovery. The alternative, walking for weight loss, 7 to 10,000 steps a day. Simple, accessible, and no need to spend hours in the gym. Take Lisa, for example. She tried running every day, but felt completely drained. When she switched to 2 walks of 3 miles each, she kept her consistency and started seeing her stubborn fat finally give way. Small adjustments, big returns. And it's not about speed, it's about consistency. If the method is this practical in just 2 steps, the real question is, where should a beginner start? And how can this path be adjusted for someone starting from absolute zero, who hasn't felt paralyzed by the idea that they needed to take a giant leap right away? The secret is actually in starting small. Adding about 2,000 extra steps per day already makes a difference, something like to brisk 15-minute walks. This simple habit begins to build consistency without weighing down your routine. Over time, that number grows. A person can gradually increase until they reach 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day, which is a solid average for walking for weight loss. It's not a marathon, it's not a competition. It's a gradual process where every small increment counts. The body responds to the accumulation of daily effort, and stubborn fat slowly starts to give way. Take David as a practical example. He never liked going to the gym, but he decided to walk to the market instead of driving, and even added an extra lap around the block with his dog. That added up to more than 3 miles a week. In just a few weeks, combined with a calorie deficit, he started noticing looser clothes and an extra boost of energy. In the end, what truly moves the needle is the combination of factors. A well-structured calorie deficit opens the door. Walking for weight loss ensures steady movement, and balanced hormonal habits keep everything working in harmony. This trio, day after day, is what melts stubborn fat. It's not extreme intensity, it's quiet consistency. Think of the body as a safe. AB workouts strengthen the internal walls. Protein is the key that protects lean muscle, and daily walks are the code entered every single day. When these elements come together, belly fat stops being invincible. Belly fat loss, once seen as unreachable, starts becoming visible in the mirror. Real stories confirm this. Carla couldn't keep up with intense training, but she adjusted her diet, added protein snacks, and committed to walking 8,000 steps daily. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but within a few months, the jeans she had tucked away fit her again. It wasn't magic, it was simple, accumulated discipline. Now you know the truth. Belly fat loss isn't about punishment or endless cardio, it's about strategy, a calorie deficit, walking for weight loss, and consistent AB workout form, a path anyone can follow. The stubborn fat doesn't vanish overnight, but it responds to daily discipline, and that's the real power you have in your hands. But here's the challenge. Will you keep waiting for the perfect time, or start with small changes today? What if just adding 2,000 steps, swapping one snack for protein, or sleeping an extra hour could shift everything? How different would your results look in 30 days if you actually committed? This content is for informational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Results may vary. Always consult a healthcare professional before making drastic changes to your diet or training routine. So let me leave you with this. Are you ready to turn knowledge into action? Subscribe now, hit the notification bell, and stay with me, because the next step in your journey could be the one that changes everything.